or it's the middle of the night where you are, but welcome to A Course in Miracles 365, Awakening to Love. I'm your host, Tomás Garza, and I'm excited to talk about today's focus, which is Workbook Lesson 77. And we're going to jump right into it. So I do want to let all of you know, a number of you have reached out to me to ask where you can find more information about this live stream. So number one, thank you for the questions. I appreciate everyone's interest in this, and I'm glad that this is something that is striking a chord with you. That's the purpose. That's why I'm doing it, so that it may inspire you to practice in your own way, whatever that looks like, whether it is this particular course or not. I also want to thank everyone for all of the shares. So if you know of somebody that would really enjoy this live stream, that would really enjoy this primer on universal spirituality, because it applies to every tradition that exists in the world. This is something that can be used to augment everyone's walk, everyone's practice in some way. So if you know of someone that would benefit from seeing this, please feel welcome to share this with them. This streams to Enlightened World Network's Facebook page and my own personal Facebook page, Tomás Garza. Also, if you'd like to catch some back editions, this has been going on daily since January. So I would send you to the YouTube channel for Enlightened World Network. That's where I would go. There's a playlist for every show on the network, in fact, on YouTube. That's Enlightened World Network. And the title of the live stream is A Course in Miracles 365, Awakening to Love. There you will find all of the back episodes. And I am spending one day a week, which I'm designating right now as Monday, for talking about general spiritual principles or general topics of interest that we run into. You know, if you want to use the word confront, use the word confront. All kinds of things that we encounter in the world, and give my own perspective on that from years of experience in both Eastern and Western, well, and shamanistic traditions, lots of spiritual traditions, and lots of meditation experience, and 8 years of experience here as a student and as a facilitator of group discussions and leader of discussions and workshops here about A Course in Miracles. Okay, so let's do this. Lesson 77, I love it. The show description's super simple. So is the idea. I'm entitled to miracles. That's it. I'm entitled to miracles. Say that again. Say it out loud. Say it internally, silently to yourself. Yes. We spend a lot of time in the world, in our lives, feeling completely unworthy, don't we? There is a sense of lack that pervades just about every interaction that we have with people, just about every interaction that we have with ourselves. How often have you in your life told yourself, I'm not good enough? I'm not old enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not athletic enough. I'm not young enough. I've lost too much hair. I've got too much gray hair. I've got not enough gray hair. I don't have enough experience. I'm not this. I'm not that. Our lives are full of this self-talk. So this idea that we are entitled to miracles as who we are, therefore we're entitled to miracles, can be revolutionary. And if it is, fantastic. This workbook, these ideas in this remarkable, remarkable spiritual text are designed to sometimes upend everything that we currently believe. We have wandered around from time immemorial with a really, really negative, ultimately a negative self-concept. And what happens? Well, our economic system takes advantage of that, right? Advertising takes advantage of that. Billboards take advantage of it. Television ads take advantage of it. Internet ads take advantage of it, right? What we're doing is, well, we're feeling like we're not enough. So we are therefore susceptible to all kinds of stimuli, outside stimuli, and people wanting us to buy this product because we need it and we're convinced that we need it. And some of these folks do a really excellent professional job, don't they, of convincing us that we need this next seminar, we need this next training, we need this skin cream, right? We need this brand new Mercedes because they're having interest-free financing for a little while. So yeah, we need that. And you need this, you need that. Need. It's to externally supply a lack. Now, the lack is not external, it's internal. So where do you go for answers? Well, inside. All too often in the world, and we've habitually done this from time immemorial, gone outside, sought answers outside. That sense of lack does not lend itself to today's idea, which upends it completely. We are, in fact, entitled to miracles. I want to take a minute here and I'll read the first few sentences of the commentary for today's idea. So if you've got this in front of you, you can follow along, or if you're looking at this on the replay, read this first paragraph. If you do nothing else, read this first paragraph. I want to go through it line by line because it's powerful. It's powerful, guys. You are entitled to miracles because of what you are. You will receive miracles because of what God is. And you will offer miracles because you are one with God. Again, how simple is salvation? It is merely a statement of your true identity. It is this that we will celebrate today. All right. You're entitled to miracles because of what you are. You'll receive them because of what God is. Where we're all headed is a constant oneness, communication, which has never left us. We're simply reawakening to this fact. Now, what in fact is a miracle? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that today, because it's very important. It's specifically defined in A Course in Miracles. And the word miracle being in the title of the text and the self-study curriculum itself is very interesting because it intrigues people, doesn't it? I mean, maybe you were intrigued by, A Course in Miracles. Okay, what's this? I've heard about this. Or maybe if you haven't heard about it, it sounds kind of cool. Well, it is cool. Let me just say that. It is cool. What's a miracle? What is that? Well, the Course defines it as any shift, and I do mean any shift, whether it appears to be great or small, there's no difference. Any shift from fear to love, any shift in our own thinking, in our own behavior, in our own perception from fear to love is, in fact, a miracle. So our choosing to act lovingly is a miracle. And in the text of A Course in Miracles, it rightly launches right in to in the first few pages what exactly a miracle constitutes. And it's very clear, I'll sum it up, that one is just like another. So they may appear to be very large or very minute and seemingly insignificant. And well, they're not insignificant because one that seems to be very tiny is just as beautiful, it's just as powerful, it's just as magnanimous as one that appears to be large. That is what the Course means when it insists that there is no order of difficulty in miracles, and who you are entitles you to them. So own it, own that. This is what this is all about. It's all about our peeling off the layers that are obscuring our true nature and keeping it from shining forth. That's what all of spiritual practice is about, no matter what tradition you're in. It is awakening to love. Call it reawakening if you want to. It's not quite as resonant in a subtitle. And that's why I left the re off there. But it's what it is. It's waking up, like waking up from a nightmare, honestly, from a bad dream where we felt like we were in danger all of the time. And then you wake up in the morning and realize, oh, well, that was a dream. So we have the experience in the world of having this feel like anything but, don't we? Because we believe it to be real. Now, what happens? Well, we go to work internally on ourselves. We don't try to affect the outward environment in order to change our internal environment. It doesn't work that way. You know, a brand new Mercedes-Benz isn't necessarily going to keep you wonderful and happy. However, if you've got a new Benz that you want to dump off on me, I'll give you my address after, and you can give me the keys. That's cool. It's cool with me. But it's not going to buy any of us long-lasting, eternal happiness. It simply isn't. Why? Because it's looking for happiness outside of where it's waiting for us, which is inside of us. Really, it truly is. So we have a different idea of a miracle in the world. We tend to think of things that defy conventional physics or the laws that we've agreed are going to govern what we call our reality here in the world. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, and that was a fun conversation to have. So if you're interested in catching yesterday's live stream where I was talking about the previous lesson, lesson 76, we talk about this and what the course calls magic. So I would refer you to that discussion. What we think of as a miracle here in the world is something like making something disappear or levitating or making cars fly like Luke Skywalker in Star Wars with our hands. That's kind of what we think of as a miracle. And well, if someone were able to do that, that would certainly be one, right? Maybe, maybe not. What was their motive for doing that? Was it love? Well, then yes. Which means we're equally capable of effecting tremendous transformation in our own lives and in the lives of everyone else by choosing love. That is the miracle, is choosing love. And it is not ingrained in us to do it all the time because we've been so habituated to doing what the ego wants us to do. We're conditioned. We're running around conditioned to do this, to do that, based on what society tells us, based on what certain unwritten rules dictate, based on what our parents have told us and what we learned in school, and all of it through no fault of our own. This is the situation that we find ourselves in the world. We also find ourselves blessed beyond measure with the tools, with the spiritual practices and the tools to find the way out. And we end up realizing that there was nowhere to go, that the truth, the love of who we are has always been inside us, and we didn't really need to physically go anywhere. It was a matter of looking for happiness and asking to find happiness where it really is and where it awaits us, which is inside. We are entitled to miracles because of who we are. And again, that is the most summary definition of a miracle in A Course in Miracles, is a shift from fear-based thoughts to loving thoughts. It's a tremendous miracle that has far-reaching and lasting effects. One of the things that I've invited people to do, especially in the last week here on this live stream, is to think about your own spiritual practice, whatever that has looked like for you in your life. And think about where you were in your life when you started that practice. Maybe it was last week, maybe it was 30 years ago. I don't know. But think about where you are today and compare that with where you were when you started. And understand full well that if you are a more joyful person, a more lighthearted person, more forgiving, if you are kinder, and if you're just lighter in general, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, and lighter in general, doesn't matter if you've put on weight in the physical body or not. That's not the kind of lighter I mean. Are you more loving? And if you can answer yes to that you're more loving today than when you started out, then your spiritual practice is paying dividends. Doesn't matter if you can lift spaceships and cars and move buildings like Luke Skywalker. That's really not the point. The point is that all miracles are accessible to us as our birthright, and we're entitled to them because of who we are. We're entitled to them because of who we really, truly are. And this is such a profound idea that honestly, I could go on about it for quite some time, but I think I'm going to pause here and let's see we got a couple people joining us here today. And Robert, hello. Yes, good evening. Thank you for joining me. And you're absolutely correct here. We are miracles. Yeah. And we are entitled to miracles because of who we are. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And who we are is, of course, right, not who we think that we are. We think we're something other than what we really are. And, it's a process of waking up to that we engage in when we engage in spiritual practice in any form, whatever form this takes. And I do want to reiterate and stress, it's very important that A Course in Miracles can be used to augment a current spiritual practice, whatever that looks like. There is something of great universal value for everyone here. And thank you all for tuning in. Now, if you have specific questions about either today's lesson or any other lessons in general, feel welcome to type them here in the comments. This is live, so if you're catching the replay and you have questions or comments that you'd like to send, feel welcome to type them in the comments. And thank you again, as I mentioned at the top here, for all of your shares. It really means a lot to me that this is something that we can offer to people. So it's a beautiful way to reach out to people that might be interested, very interested perhaps, in this information. And Robert, you're most welcome. And it looks like Yoli is watching. Yoli, hello, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Any questions, feel welcome to leave them here in the comment thread. So I want to preview the next few days because I've got a very special guest coming up on Saturday. So tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, we're going to continue in the workbook for students with a day's idea being the focus of the day in this live stream. Now on Saturday, Terry Angel, our very own Terry Angel from Enlightened World Network, is going to be joining us. She is in Sedona right now on her tour and is going to take some time off to talk about her experience with the course. Now it's extensive, guys, 30 plus years. So I'm just going to introduce Terry on Saturday and give her the floor, and she's going to tell us all about how this has masterfully and wonderfully transformed her life and her particular walk. So this is something that I really am fond of doing, is bringing in outside people who are course students to talk about their experience. Experience is shared. That's why you'll see so many study groups with A Course in Miracles. That's why it lends itself so well and so readily to group discussions. Yeah, so that's going to be on Saturday, this Saturday, May 1st here. And that's Terry Angel who will be joining us. Now, I'll announce this again tomorrow and Friday, and I will see you back here tomorrow. We're going to be continuing in the workbook. So thank you to all of you who have joined us here live. And if you're catching the replay, thank you for tuning in on the replay. I will see you all back here tomorrow.